troops across Iraq, and they say the Iraqi government says that they need these troops to train the Iraqi forces and help combat ISIS in Iraq. But at the same time, we have been witnessing opposition from Iran-aligned armed groups, also demanding that all foreign troops, and on top of them U.S. and international coalition forces, to leave Iraq. In fact, they call them the occupation forces. As you know, that these military bases, U.S. military bases, have been receiving hundreds of attacks from Iran-aligned armed groups over the past 2 years. You know that there have been attacks and counterattacks. These armed groups have been attacking U.S. military bases in Iraq, and the headquarters in Iraq have been also receiving attacks from the U.S. Forces since the beginning of the Israeli military campaign on Gaza in 2023. So the situation remains very tense, with security forces deployed around U.S. military bases and also interests, and that includes the U.S. Embassy in the Green Zone in Baghdad and its consulate in Erbil in northern Iraq.
The US bases there, they've been attacked before, haven't they, by Iran or by the affiliated proxies, by the militia in Iraq. Notably, a very pre-warned, a pre-signaled attack following the assassination of Qasem Soleimani, the Al-Quds chief, the Quds chief in Iraq, assassinated by the US back in 2020. Again, Iran responded. That was designed, though, wasn't it, to be a very contained, understated attack. Do you see the threat that's happening today to be in the same bracket?
Well, we have to find out yet, because, as you know, the Iranian attack that targeted Ain al-Assad military base in 2020 following the assassination of the Al-Quds Force commander, Iranian commander Qasem Soleimani, that was, as you know, that an arranged attack. But we still need to find out what kind of attack, Iranian attack this time, will happen on U.S. military bases in Iraq, especially after the Al-Udaid military base was attacked, according to Iranian media today. But as you know, that the U.S. military individuals in Iraq and U.S. Military bases in Iraq, as you know, that the Iraqi government is obliged, as they say, is obliged to protect these military bases by virtue of the strategic dialogue. That's an agreement, a military agreement between the U.S. and the Iraqi government. And as you know, that these troops have a role to do in Iraq, which is to train Iraqi forces and to help the Iraqi government combat or fight ISIS. So we can say that this is an embarrassing situation for the Iraqi government if these troops or these U.S. military bases come under attack by Iran or by Iranian aligned armed groups in Iraq. Because, as you know, that the strategic dialogue, this is the military agreement between the Iraqi government and U.S. And the U.S. stipulates that the Iraqi government has to protect these military bases.
OK, that's Mahmoud Abdul Wahid joining us there from Baghdad on the threat there to Iraq, to US air bases in Iraq. Mahmoud, many thanks indeed for the moment. It's just coming up to 17:30 GMT. Let's just remind you of the breaking news that we are following here on Al Jazeera in Qatar, where we have heard the sounds of loud explosions over Doha, the main urban area in Qatar, just about an hour ago. And this is shortly after Qatar closed its airspace. The latest lines that we are getting from Qatar is that there have been no casualties. And we were just hearing from our correspondent out on the streets in the north of Doha that life there is returning to normal, that people are driving around, that people are walking around. Qatar is, however, condemning these attacks, which were launched from Iran, a barrage of missiles from Iran. Qatar is condemning it, and it says it reserves the right to respond. Let's bring Mohamed Saloom in. He's Assistant Professor in Critical Security Studies at the Doha Institute for Graduate Studies. So you are also here in Qatar with us. First of all, what was your experience of these strikes as they came over about an hour ago now?
Well, it looks like that Iran has already sent 6 ballistic missiles targeting Al Udeid military base in Qatar. Well, the first reaction, I was looking through the window, actually, just watching the debacle outside, and it seems that the Patriots did the air defenses did